For today, I've got a couple of microphone cables that are no good, and these ends, the female ends, appear to be broken. It looks like the wires are broken off inside. So let's take it apart, see what's going on, see if we can fix them and make them better than new. So something I'm noticing right away as I'm taking this apart, these screws back here, they're fake. So, yeah, not a first quality connector. Okay, let's keep going. With this style of connector, you just remove this one screw and you push the center out, and there's the shell back there. So you can see that the wire got broken off, got twisted around because this keep was not used. And yeah, so okay, pretty simple fix. You can see here where somebody left the end connection, so it can come out and come in contact with stuff you may not want. So these two grounds I marked as ground with the little lines you can see there. They're connected together. I'm going to unsolder all this, make it all new. And so I want to remember. And then rolling around on this side, I mark the center of this audio cable, audio coax, so that I will remember that, because I'm going to remove that piece off also. Okay, so let's go clean this up. So I've got these all cleaned up, dewired, and tinned, so they are ready to receive the next wires. And now I'm going to cut back from the end. The wire, as it comes out of this connector back here, it's usually like this. The wire back in here will get overly stressed, so that's like about 3 inches. You want to get rid of about the next 2 inches, so about 5 inches down here you want to cut this off to make sure you get any bad wire out of there. So it's, yeah, it seems like a lot of wire, but if not, you can have broken spots out in here, and that won't really help you. You'll be back here doing this again in no time. What I need to do is I need to bare off enough wire that I can connect into here. I'm going to have to clamp the black part into here, into where my finger is, and let me bare that off. I'll go a little bit more than this, and I'll wrap it through these posts, but yeah, not too much. When you have to deal with this cable, and you don't want to damage the inside of it because it's, you know, it's easy to cut these little fine wires, what I found works well is just put a bend on it, and not too much. Don't kink it, but put a bend on it. And then if you just saw into it lightly, what will happen is it will start to split. And yeah, keep the pressure going. And then all you do is you give it a light sawing, move around the wire, give it a light sawing, like that. Sometimes it'll keep going by itself. Yep, doesn't want to keep going here. Give it another touch with a knife. And you can cut it without damaging all these little fine wires that are inside there. I've got this all cleaned up. I've put in my own jumper wires because I don't want to fight with those wires from the cable. So I'm just going to put the center tap here and the outside here, solder those 3 connections, I'll clamp it here, and that's pretty much it. Slide the cover back on it and screw it down. Okay, well, let's get at it and do it. Here we are, all soldered in here. There's the outer jacket wire, my jumper. You can see the bristles going by the front. All soldered in there well. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim these off closely. Make sure there's nothing sticking out of there. Make sure there's none of these little fine wires that didn't get soldered in there that are poking around that'll cause a short. Okay, so snip those off. And then we'll go on to the next. So here's the last step. Here's something they won't teach in electronics school. But if you wrap flies, if you tie flies, you'll know what this is. I've wrapped thread around there. Then you coat it with glue, and that's pretty much it. That's not going to come out of there. This hold down is not going to release, and that wire is not going to come out of there. It can twist and turn, and they'll have to rip this thing apart before they get that wire out of there. And here it is with the thread covered in epoxy. So all put back together, put a little bit of red fingernail polish on the screw to keep it from backing out. And that's it for today's project. Well, hope you found it useful and interesting in your electronics work.